So we've been working on a 350Z here for a little bit of time, just doing a bunch of maintenance stuff. So he wanted me to install some gauges in the stock location here. So he's got a couple AEM gauges, water, oil, and voltage. So I just wanted to show everybody that you're able to kind of get them into the stock location without needing anything fancy. So I know it's a little dark, so you guys will have to bear with me, but I was able to use the retainers just to kind of lock them in, and they popped in pretty good. So they're in a good spot here, I think. So there's no problems with there. They're nice and snug. The bezel, as you can see, is broken already. You know, this, fortunately enough, this wasn't my doing. This is just old age here. So I'm not going to bore everybody with the details on removing it, because this is pretty easy to remove, but I wanted to show that, like I said, you don't need anything fancy to put them in. What I do have to tell you guys, though, is that we did have to cut the wires for the sensor side, and the reason is that the route that they're going, which is going to be through the passenger side here, they're just not long enough. So I went ahead and I cut them. And just a little quick tip here is that anything that's 3 wires is generally a pressure sensor, and anything that's 2 wires is a temperature sensor. So obviously you really want to keep track of this, but in a pinch, if you happen to forget, because AEM designed the exact same plug for all three gauges, and you definitely can plug them in the wrong spot. So with that being said, we're going to do some more wiring. He's not wiring any of these gauges to the ECU, so what I'm going to do is I'm basically just going to cut these wires down, right, and then I'm going to tap the power and ground together to one, so we only have one connection. Fortunately enough, these don't pull that many amps, so there's no real concern about that. So we're just going to, like I said, I'm going to cut these down just to clean them up, to give us a little bit more space, and then we'll end up tapping it into the factory harness for power and ground. So we'll have to figure out what those are, but we'll get that all figured out. So I got power and ground worked out. It is at the very top row. The far right is ground, and the third from the right is power. And so we're going to key it on real quick here. See, key is on, and we've got battery voltage. So again, that's going to be the far right pin is ground, and the third from the right in that same row is power. Okay, so we got it, power wires are all tapped in the back. We're gonna key it on really quick here. I haven't tapped it into there just yet, but okay, so we got all the gauges powered on. So that's definitely a good sign there. So I'll go ahead and I'll start shortening all the wires, tapping it all up. And then, as usual, I have a couple service loops in the back here just in case. So I'm going to do throw some zip ties on the back there just to keep everything tidy. All right, so I got everything just kind of poorly wired up. So I ran the wires down over here, and obviously, you know, I went from the inside to out. I'm not going to go into that too much, but it looks like our gauges are working. All right, so we got oil pressure, we got voltage, and then we've got our water temp here, so all that's working. This water temp looks a little weird though, like the LEDs don't look right. I wonder if this is a fake one. There's been a lot of fake AEM gauges lately, but you can see that the water temp, like the way the LEDs look compared to these, are completely different. But well, I mean, unfortunately that's not a me problem. But okay, so we've got that all done. I just got to clean up the wiring down here, and then we'll get started on the wideband gauge. That's got nothing to do with you guys, but I just wanted to show the installation for the triple pods. So hopefully that's helpful to somebody, but definitely all there, and definitely wasn't that hard.